Hello and welcome to a very special episode of the ITF America's Diversity, Equity and Inclusion interview series, the first of 2022. I'm Olga Shurchkov, VII Dan in ITF Taekwondo. There are many kinds of heroes in the world, and today's episode will introduce you to two absolute heroes who embody the Taekwondo tenet of indomitable spirit. You will meet Mr. Eric Cohen and Mr. Caleb McFarland, Taekwondo practitioners with special needs. But you will see that their disabilities do not define them. Mr. Cohen began practicing Taekwondo at Red Tiger with Master Consigliere at 4 years old, when his doctor had recommended martial arts training because of his arthritis. He met General Che at 9 years old. Mr. Cohen was diagnosed with cancer in 2007 and overcame that battle. In 2016, he traveled to London and competed in the first ITF-sponsored Special Needs World Championship, winning a gold medal. He holds the rank of 6th Dan and trains every day and teaches students in his dojang. Mr. Caleb McFarland started training in martial arts and Taekwondo in 2006, but joined Master Faaborg's dojang more recently. He tested for his first Dan black belt in 2021. Taekwondo helps Caleb with his learning and confidence, and he is a dedicated martial artist and a great employee at his job. Stay tuned to hear an interview conducted by Mr. Billy Mahoney, 6th Dan, and Ms. Vail-Marie Kendall, 1st Dan, both experts in special needs education, where Caleb and Mr. Cohen tell their stories about their Taekwondo journeys of dedication and love for this martial art.
We'll pose some questions. Some might be individualized or it will be just for both people. We'll take turns going back and forth on it. The first one I wanted to ask right straight out is, why did you start training in ITF Taekwondo? What brought you to it?
I started Taekwondo because I had knee problems, and the doctor said it was good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because it is my tribe using a Taekwondo because I love Taekwondo. It is in my blood now.
Well, I would say in the beginning, we were blending a family. And so we were just looking for something that would bring us together. And so we were in classes together, and it was pretty fantastic. And there's always an opportunity with Caleb when we can learn things in a repetitive method that he just holds on to them so much better. So that was a really positive learning experience for him.
Mr. Cohen, this one might be a little hard for you for one reason. It was so long ago. I was going to say, what was your first class like? If you can remember it, you were so young.
I don't remember.
I wouldn't imagine when you were 5, I wouldn't imagine you would remember. When I was writing this question, I was like, boy, that's asking a lot. So I totally get it.
I don't know if they ever told you I actually met General Choi too.
Yes, I had heard when he was 9, correct?
In Ottawa. He was at the Pan Am Games in Ottawa.
Yep.
And we were having breakfast and he wanted to go. I said, wait till they're done. Don't bother anybody. And when they were done, they were getting ready to leave. Eric ran over and there were 2 guards with the general. And they stopped him. Eric was about this big, and these guys, are like that. And they wouldn't let him go near him. He just said he wanted to take a picture, and we actually got a picture with the general. So we actually have a picture with the general and with his son when we were in England.
Do you remember what it was like training, your first year or so?
I was happy. And I really like it because it was in my blood also.
That's awesome. Excellent. Thank you.
I will say he wanted to go every day. And on Sunday morning, he had his dobok on. And he says, I'm ready to go to class. I said, they're closed. He said, they're not closed. I had to drive him to the school to show him that they're not open on Sunday. And my wife, his mother, said I was crazy for putting him in Taekwondo. She didn't think he'd be able to do it. I said, doctor said exercise, we signed him up for 3 months, see how he likes it. And that was 31 years ago. So The only thing that stopped him from going to class is when he came down with cancer.
Yeah.
In 2007. For about 10 months he was out, and then he was right back into the being in the Taekwondo when he was sick, how they all came to see him. He got letters from all over the country, because it's like the network with it. And we really believe that's what kept him going.
That's excellent. That is excellent. How about you, Caleb? Do you remember your first class?
So since I was my first class, since I was,
Wait, I'm doing math.
so it was like 2006.
6.
Well, I was good, but now I'm in the zone thanks to Faaborg and she is my best teacher ever.
You are a lucky man to have her as an instructor. I'll tell you that. I feel very fortunate to have met her and to work with her. So I agree with you.
Yeah.
What made you continue training? When you first started, you enjoyed it, but why did you keep going to class and keep wanting to go to class, Mr. Cohen?
Because something to do, and I can't think nothing else.
What's your favorite part while you're in class? What do you like to do the most?
Sparring and forms.
How about you, Mr. McFarland?
So I like is like sparring also, and like some patterns, and I like is kicking and all of those is good for my heart.
Is there anything that either of you didn't like to do in class? Because we all have something that when we first start that's like, oh no.
Right. Well, since I was thinking way overthinking, because the only issue is my own self-doubt, but I like to going because I like this school a lot.
That's excellent. That's excellent. I really can appreciate your comment about the self-doubt, because hopefully with a good instructor like you have, the confidence level, I think more people join a martial art for confidence than they admit that they join for confidence. I think there's a lot of people out there that learn a lot about themselves from training. So I'm very pleased that you were able to identify that. That's excellent. That's excellent. How about you, Mr. Cohen? Was there anything you didn't really like when you first started?
I did not like rolling, and that was about it.
Okay. Now here's a hard question. You can answer it honestly. In your years of training, have you ever had a period of time where you considered quitting? And if so, why didn't you?
No. I was still learning a lot more.
There's always a stripe and a belt and a belt and 2 more stripes and a belt, and those milestones are huge in our house. And they always lead to something better. So for Caleb, that idea of quitting, I don't think has ever come up.
How about you, Mr. Cohen? Did you ever consider quitting?
No, never.
What can you each tell me about your last test? What was that like for you?
Kind of nervous and stressful, but pretty good though.
Yeah. Was it exciting?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the hardest part of your test?
Well, I had to do my skit with somebody.
How was Sosan?
Good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Excellent. Excellent. How about you, Caleb? What can you tell us about your last test?
Were you excited?
Yes, I was excited. Everything.
Were you nervous?
No,
Oh, now.
I would say you were very focused at your test, Mr. McFarland, very focused.
Thank you.
And since you both are certified ITF black belts, I had a question I wanted to bring in at one point. When you were a yellow belt, did either of you ever think you'd get a black belt?
No. No.
I am the same thing of what he just said.
So when you had your yellow belt, did you think one day I'll be a black belt?
Well, right. Right. He just said.
Is there anything else you would like to say about Master Faaborg or Mr. Cohen? I know that you've trained with Master Cancellieri as well as his father. So how did they motivate you?
Pretty good.
Let's talk about him. You started with Mr. Mario.
I started with Master Mario, and then after that, his daughter, Veronica, taught me also, and his wife.
Master Mario started in first.
Yep.
But everybody was teaching. Then it went on to his wife took over for a little while teaching. Then their daughter was teaching them because Marcelo was in college. And once he came back, I mean, Eric loved all of them. He was the only one that wasn't scared of Master Mario.
I do like inside of my heart is saying, thank you, Faaborg, and thank you for anything. But going to me, because she is the best teacher ever of all Taekwondos.
Well, there you have it.
Can you guys give me a few words or a few sentences, either way, about what your instructor means to you?
He's a best instructor, and I really like him a lot. And he's fun. I care about him.
Do you have super respect for him, Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
And you know what I think? It's just like Taekwondo respect. I'm sure it's mutual respect. I know he has super respect for you as well. And you are a lucky man to have such a great instructor. And he's lucky to have you as a student. That's a fact. That's a fact. And you should be proud of that.
Thank you.
Caleb, how about you? What does Master Faaborg mean to you?
Well, she meant to me is she's everything, and she is wonderful teacher ever, because she also teach me how to do a walking stance battle, but she is my top favorite teacher.
What is it like teaching?
Well, because teaching is a big step for me, because it is good and being honest to yourself, and also walk up and say thank you, and I will bow to her.
Well, I would just say, back to the previous question and to this one, is that Ms. Faaborg, Master Faaborg, what a consistent, excellent example of someone that deserves respect. And so when Caleb entered into the room and he knew that, okay, I'm going to show respect. We teach our kids respect all the time. But places to exercise those things that they learn about showing respect and honor to someone, there are not many places where you can stand in front of someone and really stand tall and be honor and respect in front of someone because of who they are and where they stand. And so then Caleb, learning through the process and the years of Ms. Faaborg's consistency and her representation of honor. Put Caleb in a new place where he could stand in this. I can be a person who receives honor, and then to stand in front of the new students and be able to be that recipient of what he was able to give. It's just beautiful. It's just this moving story and development for Caleb and for everyone in the room. And that's what I see. I think it's just beautiful. It's wonderful to watch.
That's excellent. So awesome to hear. And Mr. Cohen, I know you have done some teaching in your time.
Yeah, couple times I think.
Look about it.
Do you enjoy teaching?
Yeah, I like teaching a lot.
How does it make you guys feel to get that opportunity?
It felt good.
I bet.
It just make me be happy. I'm teaching other people.
Yes. Yes. How about Caleb? How does it make you feel?
Well, I like to teach everyone, like pointing to the other people, pointing to the people around me. I will teach them. Like the kids in or the team. I like to teach everyone because of my own spirit said so.
Yeah. And I'm hoping you both are proud, because you should be proud to be given that honor. And I think not enough people talk about that inside and outside of Taekwondo. Because I can tell you, I know I'm proud of you guys for having the guts to go out and teach, because it's not easy. What would you say to another person that had challenges or a disability that was thinking about starting? What would you say to them about starting?
Well, because they need to stand up as right.
What would you say to them about starting, though? What could you tell them that might make them say, oh, I could try that?
So you know your friend, Zach Friend. If you wanted to invite him to come to class, what would you say to him?
I would say to him is, come on and join.
Okay, what would the reason be? How would he be better if he came to Taekwondo?
Like being honored and some love.
How about you, Mr. Cohen? What would you say to somebody if you met them that had a disability or challenges that wanted to start? What would you tell them?
To start very slow and improve themselves each time.
And I think we could probably include the dads in on this one. What do you guys think?
He has brought a few kids in, and he told them, well, like to start slow, but you do your exercises, you do the best you can. And he just tells them how he's been doing it for years.
Mm-hmm.
And little by little, at first he couldn't even do a somersault or something. But as you go, and everybody respects you trying it, they all want to help. Everybody there helps each other out. It's not one against everybody else. And
Mr. McFarland, what do you think? What would you say to another family about having them start?
I think that there's just opportunity, and the thing that I would say is that you should go in with no fear of judgment. There's going to be an opportunity for you to grow in what you can do. And let's find out what you can do, and let's build on that. And then let's learn the things that you didn't think you could do, and let's build on that. It's just a room of opportunity. Particularly for Caleb, and the hearing a verbal instruction and it having a tactical, physical outcome is there's no better way for this young man to learn an order of business than that right there.
And I would just kind of like to hear from you both. Can you tell us a story about a time you competed? Mr. Cohen, do you want to go ahead?
Remember the first time you went,
Yeah,
they didn't want, they told you just go watch.
yeah.
What happened?
They told me just watch.
Sabin and Mario told them, just go see how a tournament is, to see, you know, how it goes. Fortunately, we had our Dobok in the car. But he goes, what are you doing here without your Dobok? I guess he forgot that he told him that. So he told Eric to put his Dobok on. They signed him up that day. He actually won first place in patterns. This is when he was like 5 or 6. Now you get most 5 and 6-year-old kids are a little nervous and they look around. He smiles through the whole pattern. Yeah, every move he was making, he was smiling, but he just went right through it.
Mr. Cohen, it was recently you were competed in England, correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us a story about that?
I had a coach named Foley, Master Foley. I got first place in forums, and I got first place in self-defense routine.
That's awesome. Now, Mr. McFarland, you have you been to competitions?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell us what's one of your favorite stories about competing?
Well, because I like is sparring Vail. I was doing good until I was boxed in, and well, I needed to stand up and strike back, and I did. Something with a pound on also, and I did good on that too.
Good on his pattern.
How do you both feel when you're competing?
Well, I am kind of excited / happy.
That's good.
Excited / happy.
Mr. Cohen, what kind of feelings do you have when you're competing?
I get like nervous when I'm doing my forms.
But you still get through it, it sounds like, with a big smile.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
What is your opinion on having an adapted division added to local and national tournaments?
That'd be good. That'd be really good. That'd be awesome.
Inclusion, of course, is our life. You know, we're always looking for ways to include Caleb in any and every task that we have. So having a special division for Caleb would be tremendous. Getting a population of Caleb-minded people together doing the same thing and laughing together and enjoying each other's abilities. It's beyond words how great that could be. More kids with Caleb's ability need to be invited and allowed. And if we can have a division for that, let's do it.
I can just say the hardest thing is like I think a lot of the instructors, they don't know about a special division. Like anybody mentions it to them. And I don't know how many of them have students that way, you know, with some special needs. But if they would be emailed that we're going to have one division, maybe each school's got 1, 2, or 3 people that would want to compete. Maybe they'd even be able to get some special needs kids in their school because they could look forward to certain things.
Our goal in the DEI committee is to promote more special needs divisions in tournaments. And we do want to get the word out and promote this. And Mr. McFarland and Mr. Cohen, by doing this roundtable discussion, you are helping promote that. So
That's
thank
good.
you.
That's very good.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What do you think Taekwondo has done for you in your everyday life? Forget all your patterns and sparring and step sparring and stuff. What do you think it's done for you in your everyday life?
It teaches me good things, courtesy, integrity,
Yeah.
perseverance, overcoming, dominant spirit.
Well, all of those things are really good for me of self-control, of my own strength, and having a confidence of everything else.
We talk about these words that are presented as useful mantras in Taekwondo all day long in our house.
I was just going to say, I think we've spent, a really good amount of time like talking about how much Taekwondo means to you, both you gentlemen, and how your growth has come through the years. And thank you so much, dads, for pitching in as well. I think for me, I just wanted to circle back to something that was said earlier, was that that it's in your blood. And I think that that's something that is super, super important for, all of us who have trained in Taekwondo for so long. It gets to be a point where it's in your blood, and it's not just friends or instructors that you train with, but they are part of a family. And I have just been really honored today meeting 2 new members of my family and having the opportunity to have this conversation both with you, Mr. Cohen, and Mr. McFarland.
Yes, thank you.
Master Faaborg, is there anything else you would like to cover?
Well, I appreciate Mr. Cohen and Mr. McFarland and dads for being here and helping with all this. And, together we'll all make a more peaceful world.
Agreed.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you all.